Raceroom is one of my favourite racing simulators at the minute. It's the one I go to if I want to jump into some online racing and have some fun with other drivers, having some good battles, having some good races and stuff. And they have some pretty cool cars in this sim, so I thought I'd just take you through some of my favourites. So welcome to the video, I'm Jord, and today we're going to be driving various cars in Raceroom Racing Experience. So that brings me on to my first one, number 5 if you like. This is the Bentley Continental GT3. It's not the new Evo one, it's the older one. And the reason this is one of my favourite cars is it's not the most interesting choice in the world. GT cars are very popular in this game, but it's my go-to GT3 car for whenever I'm doing a championship or a ranked race or anything like that. It's sort of good in a straight line, but that's about it. And that's what I like about this car, is it's very wide as well, so if you can just make the car wide enough that no one can overtake you around the corners, you can just pull away in the straights. And kinda the same thing goes when you're attacking as well. You gain so much time on people in the straights. It's a brilliant car to drive, and I've got a bit of a personal connection with it as well, you know, because I've done so many races with it. You know, I've had some good results, some bad results, some pretty good overtaking moves, and driving this car's just been fun. It's just been a good time always in this car, so I do have a bit of a bias towards it, I guess, a bit of a sort of personal connection with it, but that's why this is one of my favourite cars. It's awesome. I love my boat. Alright, the next one on the list is something a little bit different. This is the Volvo Polestar from the WTCC cars, and I absolutely love this thing. Firstly, there's that noise. It makes such a good noise. So the WTCC cars were Super 2000 spec, and as a big touring car fan, I just prefer these cars to the modern TCR cars. I don't know what it is about them. I can't put my finger on it. They seem to just feel better to drive for some reason. I don't know if that's because they're a little bit closer to the BTCC cars, maybe. I don't know, but these things are super fun to drive. As crew chief rudely interrupts me there. But yeah, these things are super fun to drive. I absolutely love them, and this is probably my favourite of the lot, the Volvo. It's just the noise. I just love the noise.
Sector 3 is 0.34, slower than your best.
As we get catastrophic understeer there. That's proper front wheel drive. It's a shame we don't see them as much on the rank schedule, but who knows, maybe I'll do something with them in a league championship one day. But yeah, that's number 4, the Volvo S60 Polestar. Alright, number 3 on the list is actually a free content car. It's the Canard R51, and the reason I like this car is that, again, it's more of a, I guess, a bit of a personal bias thing, but When I first started playing Raceroom, I didn't have the starter pack or anything, and I did a free content league, and it very much throwing me in the deep end because I had no real experience with sim racing before, but this is the car that I competed in it with, and that championship taught me the basics, you know, basic racecraft and where to overtake, where not to how to overtake safely, you know, taking the proper racing line, different overtake. It just taught me the bread and butter stuff of sim racing, so it's got a very special place in my heart as this car. This is the car that introduced me to sim racing, and I know it's not a real world car. It's I think it's based on like an Audi. It's meant to be like an Audi silhouette, but it's kind of nostalgic to drive this thing, even though it wasn't so long ago when I was starting Raceroom and doing my races in this car. So yeah, the Canard R51, it does drive quite nice actually once you kind of get the hang of how it, you know, how it steers. It's like a cross between a GT car and a touring car, and it makes for some very good racing actually. I've had many a fun race in these cars in the Silhouette series, and the free. What's not to love about that? But yeah, that's number 3 on my list, the Canard R51. Alright, this one might not be a surprise to you if you've seen some of my other videos. This is the Group 5 Ford Zaxpeed Capri, and this is just a beast. Absolute beast. This car just wants to kill you, and that's what I love about it. It's so hard to drive, and this is the easiest Group 5 car to drive as well. I've done many a laps in this car, especially around this circuit, Watkins Glen. This car and this circuit just go so well together. I don't know why, but I love this car around this track. But on any track, this car's so much fun to drive. Something about cars that try to kill you, I enjoy. And the noise this thing makes as well, it makes some very nice noises. Let's see if we can get some here. Oh, especially that little flutter. Makes such a good noise, this thing. And it makes some very fun racing when you've got to battle the other cars as well as your own car. Cars from this era were just nuts. It was just a big turbo. Well, it was just a car bolted to a big turbo, essentially. But what fun they are to drive. And very rewarding when you get it right. I love this thing. And I have done a video on these cars before, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I wish people would just give these cars a bit of a chance and just spend a little bit of time learning how to drive them, because they're so much fun. I absolutely love them. But yeah, that's
17.7.
That's number 2 on the list. The Ford Zaxpeed Capri Group 5 car. Alright then, the car at the top of the list is my beloved Volvo 240 Turbo, the Turbo Brick. I absolutely love this car. It's a bit of a meme. That's kind of one of the reasons why I love it, but it just feels so clumsy to drive. I mean, you've just got this big square box thing just fumbling its way around a racetrack. It's brilliant fun. And again, this is another car class in the game that I think is underappreciated, the touring classics. They're just so much fun to drive. I mean, you've got this Volvo in there, you've got the original Godzillas in this class, you've got, I think, a couple of Beamers. You've got some really cool cars in this class, but this is probably my favourite car in the game at the minute. It's so clumsy. Sometimes it even lifts up one of its front wheels when you're trying to go around the corner. It's brilliant. It's an experience, and I absolutely love this car. Especially when you get miss a downshift like that. But yeah, it's got a bit of character as the turbo brick, you know. I don't know, it's just something different. It's not like it's not just another Mercedes GT car, or you know, it's not just another open wheel formula car. It's something a bit special, I think. If there's a car if it's real life, or even if it's in a sim, I think if a car can bring a smile to your face, then there's something special about that car, you know. But yeah, that's number one on my list, the turbo brick. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, maybe leave a comment, tell me what your favourite car in Raceroom is at the minute. I'd be very interested to hear your opinions. I also have a Discord. If you want to join, you're more than welcome. That's linked down below as I spin. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.